The city has up until January 22nd to say no to marijuana. I don't have any investments. I don't smoke. I've never smoked. I'm not a big supporter of it, but people have the right to do what they have to do. We have democracy here. If the government says it's fine, as long as it doesn't impede on our rights or our health, I think people can do what they desire. But when they start impeding on our rights, then we have to deal with it. Second-hand smoke, third-hand smoke is a carcinogen. We know that. You know, where people smoke, it starts affecting people's health and their well-being. For example, the capacity to drive or operate machinery, and it starts endangering health, then it has to be dealt with. Otherwise, it's been legalized by the federal government, and we as a municipality the council will have the right, I think, 90 days after the implementation or the allowing of, to say no to selling here, and I think council has to make that decision. Personally, I would not support it. And no, I don't have any investments or any direct affiliation with it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
So yeah, myself as well, I have no investments or nothing related to that. And I still remember one of the more personal issues a long time ago. I had friends that smoked before when they were younger. And it was challenging because I was one of the few that did not smoke. So then even though they're smoking, they're secondhand smoke. And I was always worried. And I still remember my parents kind of saying, hey, you don't smoke, but a lot of your friends smoke. What's going to happen? So that's something that I know that was a very big issue. And in a way, I'm glad that a lot of the cities now, as you can see, you can't even smoke in the restaurants, you have to go outside, how many meters away from the office buildings. So I definitely believe in making it safer for everybody, because otherwise, us on the side, we're going to get affected. So definitely we have to be very safe and make sure we help to enforce it. And I know it's going to be very challenging with all these rules coming in. So us as council, no matter what, we have to work together and see what's the best way. And it's unfortunate that there's no one short, one-stop answer to this. We're going to have to see how things come and see how we can enforce it. That smoking bylaw, for example, that took time. That took years for that to be implemented, of no smoking in the restaurants. Then the restaurants had to get the filtration systems and whatnot, so that takes time. So we're going to work with that to make it safe for everybody.
Thank you, Aaron.
All I can say is this is the worst law ever imposed by the federal Liberal government. You know, if we are trying to discourage people to smoke, like banning to smoke in a public place, banning to smoke in a restaurant, then I'm confused why the current Liberal government is advocating openly smoking outside the street and everything. I am just confused ever now. You know, they are trying to do one thing, forcing the tobacco company to put all the high warning sign that don't smoke, but now they are 180-degree U-turn, now you can do whatever you want. This smoking should stop, and I will never agree, and I will continue to resist. This is a bad law and should be revoked whenever the next government comes in. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think all of us here are representative of the people and the community that we are in. And I think we should listen to our residents and our community, and whatever they like, we should represent them in council and fight for them.
Thank you. Rob, Ray?
Thank you. Again, I think I've made a comment about broad strokes previously, and this is one of those issues that you can't make broad strokes about. Let's look at the facts. It is going to be legal for you to smoke marijuana in a couple weeks. It is. You can't smoke anywhere. But there are tools that City Council can invoke to make sure that people who don't want to smell that smoke, people who don't want to be affected, don't have to be. We can expand radius of non-smoking zones. We can expand non-smoking zones further out to schools. I can't stand marijuana smoke. I can't. But that doesn't mean that my wants and needs should infringe upon another person's wants and needs. Everybody in this city matters, and we cannot paint in broad strokes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray.
We have spent the last 70, 80 years trying to get people to quit smoking, and then we come out with marijuana. I absolutely do not support marijuana, period. We'll have to address, I think the new council, whoever it is, will have to make a decision in January what their action will be. But I absolutely don't smoke, never have smoked, and I don't endorse the marijuana. Thank you.
So the question is focused on when the council have to make the decision, what are you going to do? So, Abdul?
Okay.
Sorry, is
Yes.
I
Okay.
apologize.
I'll speak for it. Smoking marijuana is not like smoking cigarettes. Let's just get that facts out. It is worse a lot of times. Your impairment, you are impaired once you smoke marijuana. So your ability to work, your ability to drive, your ability to walk is affected. So it's not like smoking cigarettes, folks. And yes, the federal government is bringing in marijuana laws. Let's stay strong. I know the council has been staying strong in keeping private shops out of the city of Markham. Let's continue to do so. As a police officer, I've dealt with it, of how marijuana can affect, especially our young people. Education, awareness. Let's pump in money into our school system so that we can actually talk about marijuana use with our children. And that is very, very important.
Thank you. Mr. Saeed?
Dear Markhamites, marijuana has been in our society illegally since long time. But unfortunately, now the federal government, because brought it this as a legal thing, but still I don't really supporting marijuana. I want free, marijuana free Markham, Ontario and Canada as well as. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm going to say one thing, and I didn't really want to bring up this topic, but you know what? Party politics doesn't belong at the municipal level. I think people should be running on their own record and their own achievement, number one. Number two, I as mayor, when I was approached by the previous Liberal government, I said that we did not want a retail store, and they said, well, we'll hold off for now. With this new Conservative government, I applaud the fact they've given municipalities the right to say whether they'll have a retail store or not. But one thing I will say, it's not the Liberal government that's letting everybody smoke everywhere, it's this current government. And I applauded their decision on retail, and I said you really should have the same approach. Let municipalities decide where they're going to allow people to smoke marijuana. Because I tell you, in Markham, I would never support what this provincial government has done. And I'm so disappointed at those candidates, because they're not here today, those candidates that have run on the so-called PC banner, because it's the in thing right now, and they think because they're a PC, they can go around and destroy all the work that others have done. Mr. Chen is not here, Charles Zhang is not here, Sean Wang is not here. They're all running on that wonderful blue banner because they think that's what's in fashion right now. Where have they been? Why haven't they spoken up and said we are against marijuana being smoked everywhere in communities? Is this what they're going to be like when they get on council? They're going to shut up because they're not in line with the provincial government? I don't care who's at Queen's Park. I don't care who's at the federal government. If it's right for Markham, I'll say it's right for Markham. If it's not right for Markham, I'm going to speak up for Markham. I don't care what the party stripe is, and I challenge those candidates, come forward, be honest, represent the people of Markham.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, Ben.
So, in regards to marijuana, you know what? I have never smoked marijuana. I'm not in favor of marijuana being legalized, but it is legalized. It is getting legalized now, and we're in this new world. What we need to do is control it. People who want to smoke, let them smoke, but let's restrict the areas. You know, let's make sure the collateral damage is as less as possible, because that's what we need to do. Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, Jack.
Thank you. I've already spoken about how much I am not in favor of the sale of cannabis in retail stores on the streets of Markham, anywhere. And I can also say one thing. Way back, 15 years ago, I was the guy behind the no smoking bylaw in the city of Markham. We introduced it here, and we got it through then at York Region. And much of that bylaw, some of that bylaw is in the provincial regulations. And I'm also very close to the health department up at the region. We talk about a lot of things. I could go into long stuff. I can tell you, one of the answers was quite good down here. That is expanding where you can smoke marijuana, cigarettes, or anything else. Vaping as well. and that all public property. We own the public property, all the schools, all the municipal government facilities, Ontario Hydro. When you start adding up the public property, the GO stations, when you start adding that up, that is significant. And we can take that next step. I can tell you this councillor, if re-elected as a regional councillor, will want to do that step, because I don't want to have kids in our community and other people. I also agree with the police officer who's running against being regional councillor, but he spoke very well. It has an aspect of impairment to it, and I don't want drivers on our roads who have been smoking marijuana. Thank you.
So, thank you. I think the same question have an addendum question. I'm going to call upon Amanda. Do you still have the question? If you don't, you can save the time for people. No, you still have the question. Make it short and make it quick.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much for bringing up this question, because through my canvassing, when I was knocking on doors in my ward, in Ward 6, there's a lot of people actually brought up their concerns about allowing smoking and consuming cannabis in public places. So here's my question: should any one of you get elected, would you support the residents and the public to say no, that we will not allow any of the consumptions of marijuana or cannabis in public in Markham? That would be my question. I am with the residents. I will support them to ban marijuana use in public places in Markham. So my question to all of you is, would you support the residents?
So, why don't we do it this way? So in light of the time, for those who would not support cannabis everywhere, please, stand up.
Why don't you let the people that would support it stay on stage and they can explain it to the public, because they know our position. We wouldn't support it. Those that do support it can take all the time in the world they want to have it explain why they would support it.
Oh, okay.
Stay here.
No. We have some. We might have some floor question,
Oh, I thought you said that was it.
Well, after this, the last question. No, they still have some floor question after this
You
question.
said it was the second last one.
I have the question to ask you. Where you go?
Okay, I was told that was the last question.
No, last question from the forum, but there's a free question from the floor. I'm going to ask them to ask it collectively. So what I want to see, those raise their hand who would not support cannabis everywhere. Can you stand up? Would not support cannabis everywhere. Yeah, not supporting cannabis everywhere. Meaning that you don't allow people to smoke anywhere for the cannabis. Not in favor. So nobody's in favor. Okay, thank you.
Next question.
Okay, next question. So I'm going to call upon the people from the floor. There's three of them lined up to ask questions. I'm going to ask them to ask all the three questions, and then you guys can, choose to answer or not. So can I call upon one of the news media persons? Yafang? So you don't have to answer until later. I'm going to collect all the questions.
My name is Yafang Shi, and I'm a journalist from Loving Sister. My question is as follows. Markham has been hailed as the most diverse city in Canada. So as a candidate, if you are elected, how are you going to demonstrate your leadership in building a city is truly diverse, equitable, and inclusive? Thank you. A quick and unfortunate observation. Actually, today we don't have a diversity in terms of gender at this table.
阿英，大家好啊！嗱，我咧阿英咧係萬錦市人，而今日咧我阿英咧要求台上角萬錦市參選人回答我阿英呢個小學雞嘅問題。嗱，我阿英咧話俾大家聽，近幾年咧每逢10月1日前後，點解會喺我哋市政廳大門口有5星紅旗升起？嗱，我記得 2018年2月26日喺晚，等我一陣，喺保守黨啊嗰個35週年嘅晚宴上邊，萬錦市區域議員李國賢啊，同我講，佢話幾年前其實係有一班人被召入中領館照肺，即係交心啦。之後我哋個市長薛家平拍板，然後由啲議員閂埋道門去投票，搞出呢一個升5星紅旗儀式嘅鬼主意嚟。當時李國賢話佢有份參與投票，不過佢話佢反對。呢一件事件，請問李國賢有冇補充，甚或就呢件事件上面唔知各參選人點樣睇？請大家停一停，諗一諗，
多謝，
然後回答我呢個問題。
Okay,
多謝晒，請請。
Let me just very quickly translate that. What he's saying, he's questioning is why is the Markham City Hall on or before October 1st raise the People's Republic of China's flag in the premises, and there was an allocation, I'm saying, alleging that Mr. Jolie was involved in certain decisions that were made regarding this. So again, I'm just translating, so I'm not implicating anything. And the open question to you, Joe, and the rest of the candidates.
And then wait until the last question. So
one more question.
One more question.
So thank you all for coming and staying to answer our questions. We are very much concerned on the future on our children.